Hey guys, a lot of people have been asking me what cards I think are going to see play in Wild in the next expansion and what my opinions of the set are in general. So I'm just going to go card by card with the cards that I think might be impactful in Wild and let you know what I think they're going to do to the meta. The first card is Fungal Fortunes. It's a druid card, 2 mana spell, draw 3 cards, toss the minions. Now, this card is just really good. Druids usually don't run too many minions, so this is an insta slot in most Jade Druid deck lists, and it probably will make the deck better. It doesn't shore up the deck's weakness of only having minimal clears for decks that tend to generate lots of big threats, but it is a pretty good card and will definitely see play in Druid decks. Now, this is probably the most impactful card of the set, and people are talking about it the most, and that's Vocation. It fills your hand with random mage spells and then gets rid of them at the end of the turn. Now, clearly, with a Sorcerer's Apprentice, this is incredible in Quest Mage. I've seen people saying that you don't hard run this. Absolutely, you do hard run this. This card's very good, and it's going to make Quest Mage much better. It can also get discovered off of Magic Trick, Primordial Glyph, and others. And overall, this card is very, very strong. In fact, I think it's so strong that if Quest Mage doesn't get the nerf with the next update, that it's definitely going to be a top candidate by the time they start to choose nerfs if they're not doing so with the next expansion. Renew, this card's just good in Reno Priest. Reno Priest isn't that good when Quest Mage is around, but I thought you guys should know about it. Canrethad Ebonlock. This guy makes your demons cost 1 less, and then he shuffles an 8 mana 7/6 that brings back 3 friendly demons from the game. That's basically a slightly worse Gul'dan effect. Yes, Gul'dan is a full board, Canrethad is just 3 demons, but that is a lot of tempo and it comes down 2 turns before Gul'dan. So I think this card is decent and has some potential. We're going to need to see how it plays though, and whether or not it's actually good is yet to be determined, so this is not a day 1 craft for me. The Dark Portal, it's a rare, so it's fun to mess around with. If you have at least 8 cards in hand, the card that you draw costs 5 less. Obviously this is very good. Probably sees play in Reno Lock, probably doesn't see play in Cube Lock, though it's a lot of fun. Teron Gore Fiend. Now this card is basically just a weirder, cheaper version of Cube, so it probably sees some play in Cube Lock. We have to play with it a little bit just to make sure. Again, not a day 1 craft, but I think it's going to be a decent card that you'll probably see in some Warlock decks. And if you like Odd Warrior, here are 2 potential cards that might make the cut. I'm not sure on either of these. They're kind of on the border, but I think Sword and Board is pretty decent. It's basically Bash, but for just 2 damage. Helps clear up the 1 mana slot, which is typically rather weak for Odd Warrior. It helps them beat aggro even more if they wanted to do that, though they probably already were. And then Bulwark of Azzinoth can eat a lot of damage if your opponent doesn't have an ability to chip. Most opponents do have an ability to chip though, so I don't think these cards will see that much play, but there's something to consider. And last on my list of notable cards is Maiev Shadowsong. This is one of the first cards released, and people have given it a lot of attention. It's probably okay in aggro decks. Honestly, I don't think it's as good as people say, so I would hold off on crafting it day 1 unless you have a deck that you really want to try. I would say the absolute day 1 must crafts are the Druid Rare and the Mage Evocation spell. All the other stuff is pretty optional. So overall, this set, I won't lie to you guys, it's not very good for Wild. It's not going to shake up too much, so the good decks are going to stay good, the bad decks are going to stay bad. I don't see any new archetypes coming out of this set, and so my official recommendation is that you do not buy the expansion. Sorry Blizzard, but it's just not going to affect Wild. If you have good decks, you don't need to do anything. And if you're still sitting on Hall of Fame dust, that right there is going to be more than enough to craft everything you need from this set. Me personally, I've saved up enough gold from the last expansion to open 50 packs, and that's all I'm going to do. I also have my Hall of Fame dust if I need to craft anything else, but really I don't think that's going to be the case. So really that's my full impression. Just wanted to let you guys know how I felt about this upcoming set because it's coming out so soon. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button and click the bell as well. I stream live on Twitch every single night at 12 o'clock PST, link in the description, and you can check out my Discord in the description where you can find every deck list that you see in my videos. And don't forget, if you have an unused Twitch Prime subscription, to consider donating it to the channel. Thanks guys, and I'll see you on ladder.